Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Of course, it's Fringe time.
Hey!
And you can get, just get the button to see all the Fringe shows.
That didn't sound right. Hold on. Let me do a hey again this way. Hey! It sounds better with,
fanfare.
It sounds better with the blast on there.
You know, I just found out, like, Max's breakdancing crew is going to be at Fringe, too. I'll talk about that later.
Oh, that's cool. I want to go support that.
If I want to see if Max can go out there, too. They're just basically putting on a demo, promoting themselves. You know,
Dude,
like
Fringe is where you get the coolest stuff. And we do have a guest here to help us promote Fringe a little bit.
Yeah, from the show Corsets and Cuties that's been around for 10 years.
Yes.
This is the last, this is the fin.
Yeah.
And over 100 different shows. And this year at the Orange venue, Lady Jaimz is here. How you doing, Jaimz?
I'm fantastic. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
I've said when I come in, I have a funny history with you guys. Back in the day,
We did something bad,
that
didn't we?
made me nervous when you said,
Yeah.
you're like,
You know what?
there's a funny backstory about you guys. I'm like, uh-oh.
do you remember dancing in a bear suit promoting a condo?
Yes.
That was me. I hired you.
Really?
Wait a minute, he's talked about this before.
Hold on,
Wait a minute,
Jaimz.
is this where you had, I was there, you had an amazing spread of food.
Yes, we did.
You had like a killer spread.
Yeah, we
the
were trying to
Hooters
get
was
in-
out. The Hooters semi-truck
you had
was
the
out
Hooters.
there.
I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to be wrong, but it was
Hold
the
on.
I'm a massive Hooters fan. It's my daughter's.
I
and
love the wings.
Okay, me
Yeah.
and my daughter love Hooters, and it's gone now. It's gone.
I
It's
know.
but we still have some, and we are going to visit. But yes, I had so many wings that day, and and not the Cuties, but the Hooters Cuties were
Yes,
out there.
Hooters Cuties.
Oh my God!
Hold on.
Okay, so you are
This
a
was
corset.
even before the Cuties.
You're
yeah.
a Corset and Cuties, and you were an apartment cutie hiring him and Hooters to do
Hold on,
apartment.
I've always created events. I've always cast events or, like filled holes, basically.
Yeah,
Haha,
hey,
pun intended.
there it is.
Where it was needed. So I lived in that condo and they needed a big event to bring in new buyers. And so I was like, hey, I know people in the entertainment industry. Let's get some media.
Yeah.
And at the time you were with the Monsters.
Let's make a spectacle.
And I said, let's put a bear out spinning a sign. And you've talked about it ever since. And that's the best media ever.
You know what? Your idea
on.
got talked about. I think it got talked about like maybe 2 weeks
So
ago.
much.
We talked about it.
I know. And I
Yeah,
always
and he has been chasing this person. And I think
Jaimz,
also,
hold on.
tell them it was me.
Also, do you know that we created somebody else? We didn't know that was you. We created a character in our mind of like this down in his luck, like mad, like manager of an apartment complex. He's like, I gotta do something. I gotta do something.
His last ditch effort to keep his job. And that's
Well,
what.
that kind of was for that person. I just hired you.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that person did, because I remember him sweating in his suit.
We were
Yes.
right.
And then as he looked around and no one was there, and he was
Okay,
like,
I have to tell you
"Oh
something
my
else.
God!"
I have to tell you something else
And
that I
then
think we've told, but this guy calls me. I'm sure you were outside puffing a cigarette.
Probably.
You called me like, hey, man, you got to get down here. There's so many Hooters wings this day, and the girls are out here,
No,
and
no.
there's drinks. You got to get down there and get some free food, man. Oh, yeah.
They ended up selling 3 units. So congrats.
Did they?
Yes.
No
we never
way,
had an answer.
Jaimz.
We
It was
never
a
had an
huge
answer.
success.
She's
yes.
out of uniform. Call her Jaimz.
It's okay. It's okay.
He got nervous. He got very nervous.
I mean, I don't
3
mean to,
units? You're 3-unit Tommy.
That's
you sealed
right.
the deal.
I don't
That's
mean
right.
to doubt you, Jaimz.
Actually,
There's
friends of
no
mine.
way that's
No,
a
for
huge
real.
success.
Friends of mine who bought are still living there today.
They're
Yeah.
people that-
More than 10 years ago.
but how? Okay, my whole. I've
This is
been.
the greatest thing you
Jaimz,
could have come
hold
in to
on.
talk about.
And
We
of
haven't
course-
even talked about Burlesque.
No,
we haven't
we
even
don't
talked
have
about
to.
Fringe.
We don't have
will.
to.
We will.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
You
no,
guys
no.
know Corsets and Cuties. You know the name.
Yeah, we'll
It's
talk
all-
about the
And
show,
especially
yeah.
our guys because they're super horny and they like beautiful women. But all of our guys are like, oh, yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah,
We get around.
It's the last time for you to catch the show at the Orange venue.
We're in the
which is-
biggest venue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you got an aerialist.
We have aerialists, we have singers, we have dancers. We have a roller skating stage cat who's helping us out. So
Oh, that's pretty
I
It's
mean,
going to be a big show.
it is our biggest show yet, and it is the most ambitious. And I'm super excited, but I'm also super stressed about tech because I don't know anything technical wise.
Sure.
I can put together a show and give me a microphone, and I will host all day long.
Right.
Talk about an XLR cable or a DIE box or whatever the hell it is. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it can
No
tank
idea.
a show. It tanked our Elise show. Like we had a show that literally just the back line was bad, and we'll never live it down.
Yeah. So
like the listeners will forever hate us for the OLE show, right? They
the
will.
old show,
and we deserve that.
That was the beginning of the end for us.
Yeah, that was that really what we'd already hit our peak, and we did that, and it was like, all right, boys. Reality is you're just not that good.
We have our tech on Saturday, and thank God we have great techs with the Fringe. And I have another friend who's been helping me out with like projections and stuff. And I'm like, I am so leaning hard on y'all.
Yeah.
I will put fishnets on all day. Do not ask me to program something.
Sure.
That is not my wheelhouse. I am so Gen X. I'm just like, press a button, make it go.
And I have to do it, and I'm naturally starting to reject it.
Yeah.
You know, like I have to do it, but I was actually having a conversation with my wife this morning. I was like, I texted her. I was like, I do not want to edit anymore. I can't do it. My eyes cannot do it.
Yeah, for real.
James, back to spinning the sign at the condo.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna blow his mind. You blew his mind.
Do you want to spin the sign for our Fringe show? I'll give you pasties.
I mean, he literally will do anything.
$300. I want to cash this.
I can get it sponsored, man.
You know
Premier
what?
is good.
If you can bring Hooters again, I'll come too.
No, man, I got a better sponsor. Premier Couples has been our sponsor for over 10 years.
Oh, right on.
They will hook you up, my friend.
Now, let's talk about that for a second, because that's unique.
They're amazing.
Burlesque troupe.
Yes.
A burlesque group. No
Yes.
different than any other, I'm guessing, improv or like I mean, you guys, you have a team of people that come together, but have been sponsored by the same sponsor for 10 years.
We're
That's
very
weird.
unique and very lucky that way.
Yeah.
Premier, everybody knows in town because of the jingle. Premier Couples Superstore. You know, everybody knows it. It plays at the top of our show.
Nice.
But people don't understand. It's a couple. It's a family that owns that business. It is really mom and pop, and that's what we call them.
Cool.
They come to every show. They bring their kids. Now they bring their grandkids because they're old enough. They've been married for over 53 years, and they run a sex shop. They're doing something right?
Yeah, and they've been with you guys for a long time. How
Yeah.
long do you want to run Corsets and Cuties?
Here's the thing. We're not ending Corsets and Cuties. We're ending the regular troupe because it's a lot to, what I say, wrangle the cats.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's
Sure.
anywhere from 8 to 10 regular cast members, and that's 8 to 10 schedules, 8 to 10 personalities, 8 to 10 things we have to figure out to make things come together
Sure.
cohesively, anywhere between 4 to 6 times a year, depending on what the show schedule is. So there's been an opportunity over the past few years for other burlesque groups to grow. When we started, there were only 4. Now there's 27 at last count in Orlando, which is great. I love it because now there's more opportunities for representation, more performance opportunities, ways for people to grow, right? So instead of having a regular troupe where others are doing that now, I want to kind of parlay all of my information and learning from all of this, experience into a production company that can do more things, not necessarily burlesque, but other shows. Like I want to bring the community together and do all-star shows, which brings people from other burlesque groups together in one show. We never get a chance to play with each other.
Gotcha, yeah.
And I want to do amateur shows to give up-and-comers an opportunity. We have been doing amateur shows once a year, and it's gotten so popular because everyone's hungry for a chance. They just don't have a lot of opportunity.
How hard is that to get somebody, namely, like even my buddy Angel from the Monsters?
I love Angel.
Yeah,
he's wonderful. He killed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he killed it.
Well, he doesn't strike me as the type of person, A, that would ever do burlesque, or B, like, I know he's going to kill it because he's a performer and I love the guy.
He danced burlesque?
He absolutely
Yeah,
did.
you didn't know about that?
Killed.
What?
Yeah, we did the.
Apparently,
Did
he brought the old, he brought it out. He brought
No,
out the
I
long
mean,
gun.
The
That's
helicopter.
Yeah.
I mean, that man can
Listen,
helicopter.
that's the thing about burlesque.
I know that. I mean, I've never seen
Yeah.
it, but I've done the math.
Yeah.
And I've stood next to Angel
he's
many of
6'9",
times.
6'9".
And
Yes,
I
he
mean,
is.
Yeah, I've stood next to him too, Tom. Yeah.
100. I bet my life biggest dong in that entire
the biggest
building.
at Real Radio, 100%.
No, well,
Yeah.
here's the thing about burlesque,
Sorry.
boys. Burlesque is the art of the tease. You don't bring anything
He
out.
can't tease that; it's too big.
You
What
bring-
are you gonna do?
You
Like,
leave
there's
him wanting
nothing,
more.
There's nothing you can do.
You leave him wanting more.
It
And
can't
his-
be stopped.
He
It's
left
like-
his hat on. Let me just say.
Did he do that song?
No, he did Postmodern Jukebox 7 Nation Army. It was brilliant.
Okay, that's good.
It was
That's good.
slow. It was sexy.
Would you do it? Would you do burlesque?
So he was sexy dancing?
Absolutely was.
Oh,
Absolutely was.
It's embarrassing, Angel.
No,
it's not.
Is there a video?
No,
of
no,
this?
He has
it-
so much money
Dude,
thrown at him.
this is what I can't get
guarantee you
him to-
he made more that night than he did at the radio station.
James, can you
Well,
help
that's
me?
an easy guarantee.
That's a funny joke. That's a really funny joke.
I'm a funny girl.
James, can you help him understand
Oh, but
that
is
being
it-
in touch with your emotions
Yeah.
and showing a lady or ladies or men, depending
Yes,
on what it
we
doesn't
do
even
have
matter.
boylesque.
Everybody, yeah,
Yes.
boylesque is a
Yeah.
thing. if I'm like doing a little, Angel raised his level of
His street cred, man.
his street cred, his
Absolutely.
sexuality, his how people like. I made him more attractive to me.
It's
and
empowerment.
yeah, it's confidence, man.
So,
it's
was there
balls.
a video of this?
It's yes.
There is?
No,
I don't
there-
think they released
dancing?
it. No,
There
you
is
had to
not.
be there that night,
You had
right?
to be
yeah,
there.
you had
There's
to be
pictures.
there.
Yeah,
there
there
are
are
pictures.
photos,
Yeah.
It's big balls. It's big balls.
And was he like tell me about it? Was he doing the
You had to be there.
He was doing a slow
Air-
seduction of the audience.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Was he humping the air?
No, that was Daisy.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She was on everything.
Yeah.
back to the sign spinning. Hold on. Because James, you say it worked,
It-
but
so well.
I remember this vividly partly because I've
I
told
came
the
by
story.
on my scooter. I had a 07 Vespa GTSIE.
And you were in a bear
I
suit.
came by on the scooter and I ate free wings.
The reason, I like talking about ridiculous radio promotions because it's just funny to me. Standing out in a parking
Yeah,
lot.
but this
or
one,
whatever.
she's saying this one wasn't ridiculous because she sold 3 units.
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on.
He doesn't like proof either. I give him proof all the time, and he's
Yeah.
like, hold on a second.
Have confidence.
My argument was all, first I get paid $300 when I used to work at radio to show up for these promotions.
And that
So I
was like 15 years ago.
yeah.
That's
So,
amazing money.
I know.
Amazing
You're
money.
welcome.
so I was like, yeah, no, I appreciate it because, but I did
You haven't even
say-
said that yet. I feel like JD Vance. You have to say thank you. She's been here the whole time.
And
What's wrong with you?
and then I remember a cop pulling up. He's like, "Drunkie, what the hell are you doing out here?" And then I'm like, "This is a promotion." He's like, "This is a horrible neighborhood."
It's a better neighborhood now. It's by Millennium Mall,
Yeah,
man.
they sold 3
Yeah,
units and
yeah,
made it
yeah.
a better neighborhood.
Well, back then I was like Holden and
It was up and coming, getting
Yeah,
gentrified. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gentrified
Yeah,
it.
you did. You single-handedly
So-
gentrified the Millennium Mall apartment
My
complex.
argument was no one is just randomly driving and then sees Mia holding a sign that says condos this way.
No, we've been telling everybody Drunkie was going to be there, and
Yeah.
they came for the bear.
They
Yeah,
were
but-
greasing the wheels.
But then randomly, like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a condo right now, like just on the whim. Like, I don't, who cares about where I live currently or my future or past? Like, it just seems
Just no
absurd.
planning.
Well, how long have you been talking about it? Over 15 years, right?
Yeah, I mean-
well, it didn't help.
It's the
I
long
only
game.
talk negative
It's
about
the
it.
long game, man. They wanted to see the
It's
condos.
the long game. That's hilarious.
Anyway.
So back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you not work in that field anymore? or like-
That was just, again, it was like event planning, and I still
Okay.
do. My
Gotcha,
day
gotcha.
job, I actually still have a day job. I'm a catering sales manager for Big City Catering.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Very
I
cool.
like to feed people. I'm still a Southern mama, I want to make sure
Yeah.
people are fed.
I love that.
Yeah, so I've brought in stuff for the monsters. We did the Miss Monster Burlesque this past year, which was
Yeah.
massively successful.
How do you, when you're getting to get back to that question, how do you take somebody that's never done it?
Oh,
like
right,
if
okay.
Tom were trying to do this seriously, which he doesn't like that example, but if you were to try and teach somebody who is afraid, are they never gonna get it, or like?
They have to have a sense of passion to want to do it for sure.
Gotcha.
There's an amazing place here in town that other burlesque groups have come to get together as a collective and have created the Burlesque Conservatory. And you can take classes to kind of get in touch with that inner confidence, find your character, find your routine, find your gimmick. Basically, that whole thing from Gypsy, you got to get a gimmick. That's a big
Right.
part of burlesque. I mean, everybody has their own persona they bring to the stage. And once somebody has that want or need to do that, that's going to give them the spark and the fire to take that leap. We've had people in the amateur shows that were, former theme park workers, and they aged out or they stopped doing it. Or in my case, I became a mom and I was no longer the image of what they wanted,
Right,
So
right,
we
I
created a
gotcha.
stage for those people who still wanted to perform. We've had people come in who were in abusive relationships and they wanted to reclaim themselves, which is so empowering.
Oh yeah, I
It's
can
so
see
amazing to see that come to life on stage. We've had people who were going through transition. We've had trans performers who are creating their persona and coming into their own, and they do that in front of a welcoming, loving audience.
That. Yeah.
And it's so wonderful to have that feeling of love for the night. Even the performers who are quote unquote competitors,
Sure.
we support and promote each other. It's never a competition against each
Yeah,
other.
it seems very supportive. No different to me than like Like my craft beer buddies are always
Oh
so
my God, my
supportive of
brother-
each other. Or, you know, like
You and the craft beer. My brother takes pictures of his beer and posts it. It's so funny. He's such a BDM.
But artists, though, you know, like they're like artists typically, other musicians typically are supportive. Other dancers, I see it with
Can
my
be.
daughter in dancing.
Yes.
You know, like normally until maybe it gets poisoned,
Yes.
it becomes a very positive space.
It
It's
can
very
be,
safe.
and that's what we want.
Yeah.
Yes, it can go toxic very easy, and I try so hard to stay Switzerland. I tell my cast
Yeah.
the same thing. Do not put anything on socials. Stay out of the drama.
Is that hard because you're
It's
dealing
so
with
hard.
something that can go over the edge of sex quite quickly, right?
Well, it's not
Like-
even that. It's the clashing of the personalities or misunderstandings or something quick happening backstage and you don't know about it until the next time. Then it builds
Sure.
and it festers. And like I said, we don't have a chance to play with each other quite often. So somebody might have said something that was taken the wrong way, and then it's talked about in groups here and there and there. And then by the time it gets around, it's like a game of telephone.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is so misunderstood. So clear communication is so important. Positive affirmations are so important, and really listening and talking to each other. Even if something's going to be a uncomfortable conversation, have it, because 5 minutes of a conversation to get a problem fixed is so much better than a month of fighting and
Sure.
just bad feelings.
So your wife has done elements of this when she did her boudoir photos.
Oh, I love boudoir photography.
Why did you
And
bring that
I
up?
like to bring
Quit
it up.
bringing up my
because-
wife's boudoir.
Keep my wife's boudoir out of
your
your
damn mouth.
Yeah. Oh, please hit me. It's the only way I can feel anything is when men punch me in the face.
Same.
I feel like you keep because I would do this too if your wife did boudoir.
Dude, I think it's cool. You don't think I think that's cool? You think I bring that up because I'm like, oh, no, I wish that would suck
Now,
if my wife did
Do you
that.
want
you
your
keep-
wife to do it?
Oh, I would love it if my wife did that. My wife will never do that.
But she's gorgeous.
What I think my wife's gorgeous too, but what I was gonna say to Tom is,
But-
I think his wife is 2 steps closer to doing this in the bedroom than my wife would ever do it. My wife ain't gonna put on a rockabilly hair tie and start pretending that I'm fixing her motorcycle.
I
but
know-
I think your wife would.
Yeah, I know why you keep bringing it up because you hope one day I'm gonna be like, hey,
I'm
you
gonna
wanna
get
see
those
it?
photos. Yeah. I'm gonna get 'em. I'm
And
gonna
then
get
I
'em.
just show you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, look at that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you see it.
We're
and
gonna- it'll be after something we've done
yeah, yeah.
terrible.
I would want to see it.
It'll be after we've killed a man, and this will be how we seal the covenant of.
Reclaim it.
Well, we have to look at this, and he's like, now we're in it together.
So James, how was Angel dressed?
He wore a 3-piece suit and a fedora. He came out with a cigar.
Hey, you have a fedora.
Listen,
He has a purple suit in the lobby.
we
Did
have
you see
another
that?
Miss Monster coming up.
Why don't you
another
do
round.
that? That would be his dream, is to perform.
Another
in a-
Miss Monster?
Yeah, another Miss Monster Burlesque is coming up.
You should
so
do it.
our winner, BB Caliber, is going to crown the next winner.
Yeah.
Do they do the ping pong balls in the pudding?
That
No,
is
no,
not
that's
burlesque.
a different.
No.
This is Miss Monster Burlesque.
Oh, okay.
Burlesque is not a ping pong show.
But
Oh,
what
okay.
if
Oh.
Druggy the Bear, a la the Purple People Eater, shows up in his purple business suit and throws it down?
To a purple thong.
Yeah, would you do it to a purple thong?
Did Angel get back into a thong?
Your body looks great, by the
His
way.
pants were tearaway.
Oh, don't-
They absolutely were.
Someone has to have video in the
No,
crowd
they don't.
of this.
They don't.
Everybody
no
has
cell
a-
phone- It was
No.
no cell phones allowed.
You can't take video because you have to be there to experience, and you don't get it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
And
mean,
he
easily
revealed the
just-
6'8", the big 6 right there.
Someone's got a video of this.
He was in such the right mindset to go into this too, because
He was on mushrooms.
He was
was
so
like-
Did you
like,
pay him $300 like me to do this?
I guarantee you he made more than 300 that night.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Sanford
Yeah.
was very generous
He was
that
getting
night.
tipped out pretty heavily.
We
from
had
what-
dollar bills
From what I
throwing.
heard. Yeah.
Uh,
So would you do this or make you too uncomfortable? Would you run off stage with
No, no.
red cheeks?
I'm sure the monsters would welcome you with open
They
arms.
would. I would. It would be your dream. And what if that's the way you return to the monsters? Purple suit burlesque.
No,
That's
dude.
a weird way to come
Or we
back.
could do him against Ryan and have them both do
That'd
it.
be a weird way to come back.
I do want to get back to doing nothing.
He's not wrong.
This-
Oh man, when
Working
somebody
hard
else
every
was
day
signing the
stinks.
checks,
Yes,
holy
I
smokes.
get it.
I used to do
completely.
nothing.
I used to
I'm
just,
not even joking.
I used to
Nothing.
get on YouTube and just search.
I did nothing.
Yeah, I have no time to search YouTube now. Now I have to run.
It's
YouTube.
amazing how little I did.
If I have like 30 minutes to wait in a doctor's office, I'm so excited for like just a stupid TikTok like stream to
Oh
just
yeah.
check out
What's
and
on
not
your
use my
algorithm?
brain.
Let's talk about it. What's on your algorithm?
Burlesque for one. I have like house cleaning
Oh,
videos.
nice.
Videos of house restoration. I love that kind of stuff. I'm into like old haunted houses and seeing people refurb that kind of stuff.
I like that one super hot, and she's kind of burlesque-y, creepy cake and like craft.
Oh, Christine.
Christine.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, Christine. I forget her last name.
She had a
Netflix
limited run
show.
series with
Yeah.
Dita Von Teese.
Yeah,
She guest starred.
She had like a Netflix show, and it was like
Creepy, kooky stuff.
yeah, she'll do like a apple pie, but she's so talented that she'll make the crust look like it's a sandworm from Beetlejuice,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it really looks like one. And then she's also drop dead hot
Yeah.
while doing
Okay,
it, which
yeah,
is
yeah.
like
Which doesn't hurt. Yeah.
I feel like that's like really hard to do. Like you can have like one or the other. Like I feel like you can either be like
Super talented.
super crafty and whatever, and then you're gonna look like an old grandma, but she does not.
Yeah,
she does
yeah,
not
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Well, you find that in the burlesque world because we do a lot of our own costumes. We create a lot of our own stuff. It's very expensive to look as cheap as we do. That's a thing. We borrowed from Dolly Parton.
That's funny.
But Premiere, really helps offset the cost with that stuff, and that's another reason we've been doing this for 10 years.
That's
So
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
man.
I mean, you don't hear of that very often.
No. Not a I mean, like anything for 10 years, let alone something of the arts
Yeah.
held together. I feel
And
like
Orlando's a tough town to keep stuff running, man.
yeah, and people are leaving. Like my art friends, I see
It's
them.
so
They're trying
transient.
to get out of here quick.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
so
Yes, Tom.
let's plug the first show.
Yes, please.
When's the first night?
Oh my goodness! Now you're gonna have to give me a
sorry.
second to look at
No,
stuff.
you're fine.
Again,
You're totally fine. While you're looking for that, I'm gonna do a quick little dance for Tom. Hold
diddly
on.
dee, diddly dee.
You can leave your hat on.
We
that's
have our press preview on Saturday, so that's what I'm focused on.
Okay.
Once I get that out of the way, that's checked off the list. So we open on Saturday the 17th. And that's at 8:30. And like
Nice.
I said, we're in the Orange venue, which is the biggest venue. So please buy tickets. Orlando is such a last-minute town.
And this is where you can feel confident when you buy these tickets because the money's going to the performers, guys.
Yes.
I mean, when you buy the button, you got to get one, and
The
when
button
you
supports the festival,
Yep.
and that's how we keep the festival running.
Yep.
All ticket sales go back to the performers, which in turn goes back to my cast, as well as tips. We do ask for tips during the show. A lot of people don't realize that. So come with cash. We have somebody there making change for tips if you want that.
Nice.
It's part of the experience. I mean, it's a $15 show, whereas our usual show is $20, $25. So you're still, saving some money there. But, it's part of the experience. Tip your performers. Let them know you appreciate what they're doing. It's an appreciation culture rather than a money grab. A lot of people are like, why are you asking for money? I'm like, it's really... It's singles, it's dollars. You know what I mean? It's an appreciation thing. It's the experience of being immersed in the whole world of it.
It's kind of part of the thing too. I think it
Yeah.
adds to the ambiance of what you're doing.
Well, it's
there,
just like
you
a
know?
drag show. You appreciate the
Yeah.
drag performers by giving them tips.
It would be very weird if you took that away. I feel like it's like when they took the audience away from wrestling. It doesn't work.
Yeah, we did burlesque online during COVID.
Yeah.
Completely different
Yeah, it
experience.
doesn't work. I mean, it's just weird because
We tried to keep it
yeah,
going,
it's-
and we had some great patrons that still
Sure.
supported us, but it's not the same.
it's an energy exchange. and, yeah,
Absolutely.
when it's tipped off weird, I
Yeah.
don't know. It doesn't work.
Quit asking for change when you give someone a tip because it's awkward for everybody involved.
He's right.
It was just,
He's
like,
right.
you have a $10 bill, they see it, they're like, oh, 10, and you're like, I would like five back,
$5,
please.
yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't think I've ever done that.
And then they have to open their tip or they
No,
go
I've
through
gone
their
as
tips.
far as
I don't
remember,
think I've ever given change.
I remember a bad one.
did that with a
remember
valet.
You do?
I remember a bad one. One time I went to get a beer from OJ. Remember OJ when he would sell beer at the old arena?
Oh, you're not talking about Simpson.
No, but I am. We used to have a beer guy that looked exactly like OJ Simpson, and
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
just called him OJ. So you'd yell, OJ, bring me a beer. And he had the glove on his hand, too. It was awesome. It was hilarious.
Oh, Jesus.
And also not hilarious because people died. But I gave him a 50 for a tall boy ice house, and then he was like, I can keep it, and I'm like, you can keep it.
I've done it a lot with valets, and
Yeah.
then you give them, you give them a 10, you're like, I would like 5 back, please. Then they pull out a drug dealer wad of money.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
deliberate. That's deliberate. You're supposed to be like, don't worry about it.
No, and then they start going through 20s and 10s to try to find a 5 at
Yeah,
the very
that's
bottom.
deliberate to make you go, no, don't worry about it.
Well, you know what it makes me go is like, you are making entirely too much money for doing
They run their asses off all night.
But it's that hard. I mean, you're doing a burlesque show. That's
It
way
is
harder.
very hard.
Than
You
parking
need to
some-
remember anything you say on the show, he's going to disagree with.
no, I'm just saying, you're a valet driver, he drives your car to a parking spot. That's nothing.
My car's pretty
Nothing.
expensive. I needed somebody.
Honestly, I have such a mom car. I feel guilty ever doing valet because I'm like, oh, you got to get in my car that's
Oh.
littered with show posters and then my daughter's stuff for
Trash.
school.
You're an
and-
artist. Yeah, you're
It
doing
is an
art
artist. I have a
things,
Kia,
yeah.
and we say on the inside it's it's like a TARDIS because you can fit so much crap in it.
Yeah.
It's so great. But going back to the show, I do want to tell you one thing. Our last show, which is Sunday the 25th, which is the last show, that's going to be a special of $6 because we want to fill it, we want to pack it, we want to have a last big celebration.
Yep,
awesome.
It out
Yeah.
then, getting
I have
everybody in
buttons
there.
for you guys too.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh,
James.
Throw it at
appreciate
you.
that. Yeah, throw me it.
Yeah.
Got it. I
Thanks
caught
so
it. Look at
much.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put that up on the camera so you can see. Hey, thank you
Finn.
for coming in, and I hope you'll
Thank you,
won't
guys.
be a stranger, and you'll come in again.
Anytime.
Thank you for that $300 20 years ago.
Hey, if you want some comp tickets for the show, you can come spin a sign again. I'm not mad at that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not above doing that.
It's
by
a
the
date
way.
night. Yeah,
My wife is
absolutely.
very cheap. She may send me.
It's $350 now. The rates have gone up.
Yeah, you guys, thank you so much for having us. There's so much you got to promote in this and get the people out. Like I said, Orlando's a really bad town for last-minute ticket sales.
True.
So if people can go online and buy tickets, or you can come, to the box office at Fringe and buy tickets. You can get tickets for Fringe at OrlandoFringe.org.
It helps the artist prepare too. Like
Yes,
it's nothing,
absolutely.
nothing better than knowing that you're selling things out. So
It takes the pressure off and we have more fun.
It really does. So guys, hey, thank you again for coming in.
Thank you again.
Appreciate it. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more of Corporate Time.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now. We'd love it if you join us. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live wherever you get your podcasts.
He's going to be at the Hurricane Party May 31st. You can get your tickets at westendvenue.com.
How many hurricane parties is this? 14, 15, 16? It's a lot.
It's in the teens.
I'm sorry I put you on the spot, but yeah, if you haven't been to the Hurricane Party, it is a festival, basically a festival of reggae here in our beautiful state of Florida, in our beautiful city of Sanford. And on the line with us right now, and I've been wanting to talk to this man for so long. I have been wanting to talk to you since 1994. Dub 56. There's a song called Legal Shot you did with the Toasters. Is literally, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm like I'm fanboying big, but on the line with us right now, Coolie Ranx. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Respect, man. I appreciate that, man. That's crazy.
Legal Shot, no, the song Legal Shot, that whole thing.
Yeah.
When that comes, when the horns come in, I still get goosebumps. And then you like, never fear, Coolie Ranx is here. I'm like, wow, he's here. He's here. Like seriously, like that song gets me so hyped. It gets me so, and that was at a time when I had gotten into punk rock and ska, and for some reason, and maybe you can help me with this, it was weird to see a legendary ska band of all white guys, and then I was like, what is this beautiful, authentic Jamaican sound I'm hearing? Why does this sound so authentically real? And that was you, and that's how I came to be introduced to you. So, hey, thanks for being on the show, man.
You're welcome, man. It was a crazy journey to get there. It was a crazy journey to get to the Toasters. Because I was definitely in the hood with all the Jamaicans. That's my environment. That's my upbringing. That's my culture. That's my family. You know what I mean? So, getting to the Toasters was like such a diversion from where I was heading. My trajectory was straight Jamaica, straight Jamaican dancehall and everything like that.
Yeah.
So when I got into the Toasters, it was just like a dare. Someone dared me to be in the Toasters, a manager lady, because I used to fool around with so many different sounds in the studio. So I'd let her hear some of the stuff I do, and she was like, "Well, why don't you try this out? When we go on a tour, they need a front man. They just lost 2 front men. Do this and then go back to the dance hall." That was the plan. I wasn't even going to stay there long. I was just going to do this tour, go to Europe, and come back.
Yeah.
And stayed there. Kind of liked it, and left because it was. Then again, it was still weird for me, Cause I'm straight hood, right? So it was kind of weird. So I left that time and came back. So that when you see that record right there, that's the second time me being involved with the Toasters.
Yeah, well, there were, and it's interesting to hear me say that as a fan, or hear you say that as a fan, because I kind of would dig in as a young man into ska, and I'd be like, well, he was featuring on some things there, or he was on some tracks, but he didn't seem like a full-blown member. And then I knew he was a full-blown member. I actually got a chance to see you guys at the Milk Bar in Jacksonville.
Okay, yeah.
Man,
okay.
And there were racist skinheads in the crowd, and then the non-racist skinheads came, and then they did their business and handled it all. And I've told the story on our show before, but as a person that did you start in just reggae and then somehow wove your way into punk and ska?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was straight dancehall into the dancehall. And then, like I said, this manager lady, she dared me because she see I used to play around with a lot of sounds in the studio. So the Toasters lost their guys. I filled in for two guys, but I wasn't 100% comfortable at that time.
Sure.
And then I went back. I went back to the Toasters in the 90s. And, you know, I was like, yeah, when was I the most happiest doing music? And it was the Toasters.
Yeah, but Pilfer, if we could talk about that, the Pilfers, like that is an era or a style of music that I think you and I, Tom and I, were watching an interview with you, and I think you said, and I love the way you said it, it's like you feel like Pilfers are just now getting the recognition that maybe they should have gotten years and years and years ago in ska and reggae or punk even. So, yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Because it was... we would play ska. We would play ska shows. The first ska show that we ever played was like, you hear them screaming out in the audience, "That's not ska! That's not ska!" I'm like, whoa, it's something. You know what I mean? Again, I play with a lot of sounds, so you know, we're experimenting with the music. I'm like, yo, do this, slow that down, put in the crunch. You know what I mean? It's just like me experimenting.
Yeah.
And because I had such great musicians around me, you know, it just exploded. I mean, my imagination just could run wild. I wanted to do jungle. I wanted to do skungle, right? So I wanted to merge ska and jungle.
Yeah.
And if not for the musicians that was around me, you know, it could have sounded kind of like what Toasters did with Chuck Berry, because that was my first time trying to do it, but they didn't grasp my concept.
Yeah, and it
have you heard the Toast?
I know.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So you're saying sort of that you did that, you tried that, but it didn't come out the way that you wanted it because
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
so you know, with this band was it? Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, how difficult is it though, as a front man, as a singer, you know, when you're joining a band, and again, that wasn't your band. I guess they're bringing you in. Like, how much pull did you have? How much power did you have within the band to kind of influence them?
Well, to be honest with you, I had a lot of pull if I wanted it.
Yeah.
But the problem was, for me personally, I felt that the Toasters had a sound.
Sure.
And that's the institution. Now, for me to go in there and start rearranging that sound and leaving, that's disrespectful to the whole scene.
Yeah. I think you said that perfectly, man. I think you said that perfectly. And then me, again, not to make it about me, but to come back to me as a viewer in '94, or as a listener rather, I'm getting out of high school, I'm listening to that, I'm going to college. I realized that as much as I love the Toasters, I think I was more of a fan of what you brought to the Toasters, if that makes sense. So then when I went and checked out the Pilfers, and I urge everybody to, you'll hear a sound that I honestly believe I liked more because it's you. You know, it's more authentically you.
Exactly. That's authenticity. That's it. Authentically me. Exactly. Now I'm with the Toasters, and I was holding back the reins.
Yeah. Well, they're very traditional. They're very traditional, right? Like that is.
Yeah. You know, I just kept it nice, you know, and you know, easy. You know, I was holding the reins back. I couldn't actually go like berserk. You know what I mean? If you listen to Pilfers, even just down to Yakuza, that's a prime example of Pilfers, like me breaking out. I was rapping in there the way I should rap.
Well, it starts with punk rock, right? Yakuza, it starts with like a weird punk rock. It sounds like almost like a fast punk rock song. I'm like, what the hell is this guy?
No. It's the heavy one first. First you hear that.
Yes.
So you're banging, your head is banging already, and then it lifts off. You know what I mean? But I couldn't really do that style because, again, it would be taken away from what the Toasters really do.
Yeah, and it would have. I think you nailed it. I think it would have. If I came to a Toaster show expecting to see pretty traditional style, I mean, that's probably for casual ska people. I feel like the Toasters they're up there. And if I came there and I saw that, I would have been thrown off. I'd be like, this is not. Yeah. I never thought about that. Yeah, Tom.
Coolie, I want to ask you about you voiced Little Jacob in Grand Theft Auto. And,
yes, indeed.
Wild.
So
that's so cool.
What's funny to me is like I know you as a musician, and obviously from listening to ska since I was in high school, and then you're doing this interview with this podcast about Grand Theft Auto, and the person's like, Coolie also does some music that our listeners, because they only know. and then I'm laughing.
You dabble in music, right? Every once in a while.
I'm curious to your experience with that, because Grand Theft Auto is such a huge game globally that did it blow your mind how many people consumed Grand Theft Auto and like were interested in your your part in that?
See, I don't even know the limits and the reach of that. I'll be honest with you. I did it, and there was no feedback on my end. There was no. I mean, to this day, I hear some people say, "Oh yeah," but I don't really know the magnitude of it. You know what I mean?
It's interesting too, because I have friends that only found you and your music because of the game.
Wow.
Because
crazy,
I told them, not again, I'm making it about me, but I told them, like, hey, this is like, do you know who that is? So have you done any other acting or anything other than that?
I haven't done anything since then. Before that, I was doing some little bit parts in England, because I went back to England for a while, so I did some like little cameo stuff. My mother's the film director, so she got me in.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's cool. That's cool,
So
man.
I did that, but no, I haven't done any acting. And I'll be honest with you, acting was like my first passion before music, and I couldn't do any acting over here because I didn't know how to get into it. Music was the easiest thing that I did. So yeah, music. I love music. That's me.
Cool.
But no, I haven't.
I'm curious, and this may be a cliche question that you've gotten asked a bunch of times, but I figured I'm interested to hear your opinion on it. But what do you think about like the white boy reggae and the white guy that is singing in a Jamaican style that is not his real accent,
Right?
but he's mimicking the music that he loves, and I've heard
using phrases and culturally like things that maybe
yeah.
Trying to get him canceled. I'll give you my honest opinion. You know something?
Yeah, take it down.
I'm just eating some authentic bread pudding here, which I made myself.
Wow, really? Bread pudding, man.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
It is delicious, very delicious.
I got a sweet tooth. I'll eat me some bread pudding, man. I love that.
It's delicious. So I think, to be honest, I think anybody can do what the fuck they want. I mean, I don't really care. If people like it, sing it. I mean, they probably say the same shit about me. That boy from New York sounding like a Jamaican. He's not born in Jamaica. I mean, even though I have Jamaican parents and shit, they probably say the same shit about me. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hate on nobody. And I heard some really good artists. So personally, I don't care. I understand how people can say, "Oh, it's appropriation," and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but that's been going on from the beginning of time. What are we gonna do? Not like the music and not sing it?
Yeah.
And it seems like sometimes people get maybe even a little more concerned about that, and then they forget about the music. And the music, going back to what you just said, that's you. That's the most important part. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Do people like it? Like you said, it's like, what do I care? I
mean, they probably want to let me in ska in New York City because ska wasn't the same two-tone.
Yeah.
Probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you guys are considered like what? Pilfers is what, third wave? Is that what it's credited?
We're fourth wave. We started a wave of our own.
I love that. I love that. Oh, you see what he just said? Some people get mad when you say fourth wave. Well, I like that. I like that.
You said
we did. We started a wave of our own. No one was doing what we were doing. They're still not doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, they try, but I'm just being honest. Everyone's gonna hate me and say, "Oh, he's this." I'm telling you the damn truth.
No, they're wild records. I urge all of our listeners to go back and check them out. Hey, are you still re-releasing? Or maybe did I read that wrong? Aren't you re-releasing all the Pilfer stuff again, or was it last year? Or because it's still out there and everybody should find it.
What happened was I found one song which we did ages ago. No, let me backtrack. Our second album was on Mojo Universal. It was buried for about 27 years.
Good God.
Shelved. So it wasn't, no platforms, no nothing. I was in constant conversation with these guys. They were probably tired of hearing me. But I was like, yo, listen, this is a part of history. You got to put this up, man. And then finally, I got an email saying, oh, we're going to put it up on January the 5th, 2024. I swore it was like one of those spam bullshit. Somebody was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, no way, this is not going up there. And then sure enough, January the 5th, 2024, they released Chwala Lang back onto the platforms. That's what you saw. And I'm like, yes, finally, at least somebody can hear it. I mean, it's kind of late, but it's kind of timely at the same time because I've been getting emails from people around the world that are saying, oh, I just discovered this band. Now, they think that's a new joint.
It sounds new. I wrote that down to tell you. It's so, I don't like using the term weird because I feel like that's disrespectful, but it's so unique in the way that it sounds. It does sound new. Like, there are bands out there that are doing new things, like, for instance, like Turnstile. Like, their last couple of albums have been really weird and kind of new. Your record sound new. That band, your band, sounds like it would hit right now. Are you guys still playing together at all?
Well, we're playing the Hurricane Party.
Well, I mean, there you go.
Okay. We didn't know what Incarnation.
Full
transparency, didn't know when Incarnation, but that's gonna sell some tickets.
It's a incarnation. But if you got me there, it's the band.
I love it. That's so cool, man. That's really.
I
cool.
could say yeah. We have two singers, and I still sing like 90% of the song. So
yeah.
Coolie, real quick, as a musician, what are your thoughts on AI music and how I imagine that new musicians will use it as inspiration for writing music? Because I'm not sure if you've messed around with it, but I'm like, for sure, young musicians are going to be creating AI music and then mimicking what they, getting ideas from it.
I don't know if they can
weird.
Escape it at this point.
Yeah,
you can't escape it. Do I like it? Not really. I mean, I've always taken pride in writing my songs and composing songs and putting the hours in rather than just touch a keyboard and you got a song. That's really effortless, and that doesn't show any creativity. I'm into the creativity, but as you said, you can't fight it. I mean, what am I gonna do? Go into everyone's house and shoot up the block?
Yeah.
That'd be a good video. A video of cool. Like we'll write the song, but the video is you just driving around house to house and just shooting up people's computers.
Like there's some nerd in there making some AI music. Like acid, Coolie Ranx is here.
My God, it's Coolie Ranx.
You're beating their computer.
We gotta find something. What would be more Jamaican? I guess shooting it up. You can shoot it up.
Shoot up the block.
Just shoot it up.
With a flag in my hand too, with a Jamaican flag in my hand.
I like that. I like one big Jamaican flag and he's just shooting it up. Make sure people know where they can get the tickets for Hurricane Party. So.
Yeah, westendvenue.com. Again, it's May 31st. And you mentioned Two Tone. It reminded me, you're still doing Two Tone podcast, correct?
Yes, I'm still doing Two Tone podcast with Jeffro Piskin, Raised Fist Productions.
You guys have a good chemistry. You guys are funny together. You're very funny together. I like the show.
We are very, very, very similar people.
It's good.
He's a younger version of myself. I have grown since, but he's definitely like me.
Yeah,
we are like each other.
It's good, and you guys highlight some of the greatest of the industry on the show. And so if you're into ska and if you're into reggae and into music even, I would definitely give it a listen and definitely check it out.
Thank you for the plug.
Coolie, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
And we look forward to having you in Florida. I know it's not your first time, but having you in Sanford.
It's a long time. It's a long time in Florida.
Been a minute.
So thank you so much. Yes, because I tried to book the band by myself one time. Said I'm going to start up a booking agency.
We've done a couple of wants too. Yeah. You came to the right place, but we'll see you at the Hurricane Party. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Peace.
All right, man. Take care. Be good. Coolie Ranx live from his. We've been talking to a lot of people in their home offices today. We went from Wango Tango, the Motor City Madman, Ted Nugent to the mild-mannered, ultra-intelligent, and I'm fanboying crazy lead singer of Pilfers and the Toasters, Coolie Ranx.
Yeah.
That's a wild. That's a huge, crazy swath.
It was funny to listen to Coolie on an interview with like I said, this podcast, and they're like talking to about Grand Theft Auto, which you know, obviously that's not a special thing. He was like, I just voiced you know, and then the guy's like, some of our listeners may be interested to hear that you're also a musician.
Well, like, also, why
like,
wouldn't you have led with that? Like, how do you not know?
Because his audience only cares about Grand Theft Auto.
But I mean, like reggae, like, or if you're just doing research, how do you not know the Toasters?
Yeah, well, I guess.
I mean, the Toasters are almost like top of the top. Like Bucket from Toasters is like is ska. That's like the
but if you don't know ska, you have never. I bet if you mention Toasters,
I get
to
mad
most people
at people
don't know.
that say they like music. When you say to me you like music and you don't know a little bit about all music, I get really mad at you.
Well,
I don't like that.
They like the music that they like.
I like the music that I like, but
they
I
don't
also,
care about anything else.
I find out a little bit I know a little bit about even classical. I know a little bit about like pianists. I know something about Josh Groban.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You gotta, if you're gonna say you like music, then like music.
Yeah, or we should preface it by saying I like my music. Not all music. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Of course, Fringe starts next week.
Yes, we are fringing, baby.
And, you know, here to talk about a Fringe show. She's been on the show before.
Yes.
Aimme LeCours here. How you doing, Aimme?
Hi, friends. Yes, I'm so excited about Fringe. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. Is this your first time fringing, or?
So I'm here to promote Roo Nafasat's show, Roo's Menagerie. It's her first time in Fringe, which is very exciting, and she'll be here in just a little bit. She has a whole one-woman show. It's about animals. It's very fun. It's very cool. And so I'm basically just helping her along with that.
Wow,
Gotcha,
what a nice person you are to help your friend. If Tom asked me to go on any media tour for his dumb Fringe show, I mean, you get the hell out of my house.
I would not do it for Daniel either, because that is, oh God, the pain in the ass.
Yeah, you must be good friends.
We do it for each other. Well, so she's been having me do a mommy blogger character to like show everybody how excited the mommy blogger is about the show. So I did that for like a Fringe preview for her.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Just like a little side character for the stuff that
So
she
you
needs.
get to go to places that aren't expecting it, almost in character, and kind of screw around.
Right. I'm like, hey, y'all.
Why didn't you do that here? Because it doesn't work here, does it?
I didn't ask.
Because this guy.
I don't know y'all well
This
enough.
guy can't play along. We had moon men from Mars.
Why did you
You know
bring that
Jeff
up?
Span. You know Jeff Span.
It's
Everybody
just
loves.
awkward if
Everybody
they
loves
pretend to be
Fritz.
an alien. I can't talk to him like an
I didn't want to
alien.
make it weird.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
Fritz and loves Fritz band. He brings his band in here. Then I'm like, just pretend they're moon men. This guy can't do it. He can't do it.
I'm not doing it.
I'll tell you what he can do. He's been in his office all morning staring at his TV. We have a TV there, staring at the TV. When's the Pope coming? When's the Pope coming? This
is
guy
the Pope
can't
here
stop
yet?
with his Pope talk. We got one.
I don't know.
We got a new
one.
Pope.
We got a new Pope.
We got a new Pope.
What a big day to be together, friends.
Yeah, it wasn't Pizza
No
Bala,
one
the Pizza
cares.
Pope, and it wasn't the Asian Pope.
Oh, it was a young Pope.
And
It
I was
young
hoping
Pope?
we could get a Pope from Africa. I know that I don't think we've had an African Pope, so I was thinking that'd be cool.
Oh, Pope comes from everywhere?
Yeah, they could be from anywhere. Except for hell. I don't think you can have a hell Pope.
You don't know. You don't know. We're
Some would
open
say
now.
some of them come from hell, like, if you're not a fan of
If you're not a
that
fan.
particular denomination.
Yeah.
Do you know one person, even in, like, I mean, we're all middle-aged, not you, Amy.
I'm 42,
But,
I'm 42.
Yeah, you're gonna hate my answer. You're gonna hate my answer.
young.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're great.
You're gonna hate my
you guys
answer.
are too
Me and
nice.
this guy, he did not
Yeah.
look good.
40,
though.
how old are you?
I'm 48.
48?
Yeah, I'm 43.
43. So, yeah, we're all middle-aged.
I almost forgot there.
I'm 43.
Because I was like, is that right?
Hey, Roo's here.
Yeah.
Come on in.
I'm not living past
Yeah,
80. I'm
hold on.
middle-aged for
Yeah,
sure.
come
But
on
no.
in, Roo. I can get you running fast.
Anybody our
grab
age,
that mic. It's a better one, and then there's headphones right behind you, and then we will get you rolling.
Anybody
so
our-
good to see you, my
Rue's
lady.
very young. Rue's young, though.
Yeah.
We're all middle-aged except for
All
Roo.
right,
Well,
hold on. I
but-
gotta make sure to do this.
does anybody our age or younger care who the Pope is? Or is if you heard someone like, oh, I'm excited, it's like,
Catholics?
yeah, but you know a Catholic person of our age?
No.
Like,
no.
I know,
Do you know any Catholic? You know a Catholic. Yes.
No, hold on.
Okay. Was he excited about the Pope, or is he like, is it like just a okay?
He's not excited, but I want to be able to like fit in with his family. You know,
Okay.
I want to make Meme happy.
That's true. Yeah. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. Like, I do know one. I think that, and I think I'm okay saying this. I believe on Jimmy's show. I think Deb. Her and her mom are really diehard Catholics, and they
follow it or
they're
whatever?
all in, man.
Does it make a difference about?
Oh yeah, I think they had like which one they wanted, and they had like ones that they wanted over other ones.
I mean, it's like their royal family, you know. We got Kate Middleton and Prince Harry or whatever. They got the conclave.
yeah, you're
so
kind of right.
odd.
And my dad's Catholic, but it really is. But we were the Catholics that would go on Easter. That's it. That's the only time you go Easter, and then you drink all the time, and then you go again on Easter, and that's what you do. You know.
Yeah. No, I know.
That's just Boston.
That's just Boston.
Yeah,
that's Boston Catholic. Hey.
So how you doing, Roo?
I'm doing great, you know, handy dandy morning time. I had a hammock.
So Aimme was telling us before you came in
morning.
that
What? It's like 1 hour past morning.
it's a young person's morning.
It's a young.
I've been up for 9 hours.
This is my afternoon. But Aimme was telling us before you got here, Roo, that she was single-handedly responsible for your friendship.
No.
And if it wasn't for her,
She wrote it. She did all the costume design. I'm an imposter.
You're not gonna break us up. We are friends. No, I didn't. You know I didn't say that.
No, we had an arm wrestling fight, and then whoever won got to like take
Being
over the name of the show.
The Roo's Menagerie.
It was unfair. It was unfair.
So how does one decide to write the show and add to? You're already busy.
Yeah.
And Fringe is, for those that don't know, I think as a performer, it is nonstop go, but super rewarding because, again, if you love Roo and you want to support her, and I know you do, this is where you really can because the money goes to her. All you got to do to support the festival is buy your button. Everything else goes to Roo. So how do you decide to do that? I mean, that's a lot on your plate, right?
Yeah, I've been going around doing a bunch of character sets around town. So I know at Bull and Bush, Ross likes to do those like character sets. He does.
Oh God, he does it there too.
Yeah.
I thought that was only our show.
Losing his mind, and he's so obsessed with them, and now he's getting other people to do this.
Ross has Ray Damsey.
Ram is on here
Ram
all the
Damsey.
time. Yeah, Ram Damsey's always on here. We've got some that
Scarf Toboggan now. It's a whole thing. He plays a damn pill bug or something. What is it?
Silverfish Man.
Oh, I haven't seen.
You haven't had. Yeah.
You have to have him on the show.
Silverfish Man might be appearing at one of your new like if you do
We'll
characters.
have to get him on.
Yeah. So you decide to write a character show? Or?
Yeah, I was just doing a bunch of characters, but here's the thing. Every time I pick a character, I like to pick an animal for whatever reason. And just by putting all these guys together, I decided to kind of conglomerate them, give them more of a fluid storyline, and put it out for Roo's Menagerie at the Fringe.
I like that. I use the term menagerie every time I see a little dog. I'm obsessed with like pee-pee dogs. I love little dogs. And I have a little dog. I have a little West Highland Terrier named Dansby, and I love him. He's my best friend. In fact, every time I'm here, this guy's yelling at me. I'm like, I can't wait to get home to Dansby. and just smooch his face.
That will one day be your only friend.
Yeah, it will be. But like, I always want to put.
That's how every old man and pee-pee dog.
Yeah.
We'll
they die together.
Psyching a little bit. We'll work through it.
Every little old man gets a pee-pee dog, and then right after he gets his kiss.
Why do you call it a pee-pee dog?
Because they pee-pee everywhere.
I thought like a little
Every time it gets
pee-pee.
excited, it's like, boop, you know?
Yeah, a little squirt.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with knowing your home is covered in little squirt.
Yeah, no black lights in there.
No, no,
Just
no,
like
no.
the wet and wild, the little wet and wild squirt.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Great, excellent tie-in. But menagerie is such an underutilized term.
It really is.
I always thought that I'll see a little pee-pee dog and I'll be like, oh, that's be perfect for my menagerie. But I always want to keep adding.
We're the same. We're the same.
Yeah,
What the hell is a menagerie? What does
I
that
don't
mean?
know, but I want to go to Roo's Menagerie. Check it out.
Yeah, it's a French word. Actually, I defined it in the beginning of my show, but it's a French word basically to like where it's like exotic animals that rich people kept. So like the most famous one is in Versailles.
Whoa.
What?
No, I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
like your
hold on.
whole story. I'm like, we're gonna get some history here.
Yeah.
I
You
like
will.
this. I like this.
The guy from Gremlins that you bought
The Mogwai?
the Mogwai,
Mogwai.
was that a menagerie?
that
Can you
Menagerie.
please say it right? Mogwai.
I think it's cultural. That's like a market. His was a market, I guess.
No,
I guess
no.
if it's fancy, it's
Yeah.
Well-
fancy and white. I don't know.
I mean, technically, it just has to be a collection of little guys.
Yeah. Oh
my
A
God,
collection of little creatures.
Was that Mogwai was at a wet market, wasn't he? That was what you
yeah,
said.
I think you're
It-
right.
I think you're
I
right.
think
You're the
we
one
are
who
all-
said it. You're the one who said it. You're our leading conservative conspiracy theorist.
God,
Yeah, I have
you
no
got it.
idea what's happening.
Rue,
Yeah.
there was a movie called The Gremlins.
Oh, you're too young.
Yeah, this came out before Rue was born.
Yeah, you're way too young. There was a movie
Yeah.
called Gremlins where a little Asian man with a long fry cook beard
Yeah.
sold
That's
these.
why he was asking you.
Yeah, he sold these little fuzzy creatures called mogwais.
Yeah.
And you have to say it like that. And he sold them to I guess he sold them to anybody who had the money. Now
Right,
that I'm
yeah.
thinking about it.
It was salesmen that were out of town that wanted to buy the love of their son. Basically, was
Yeah.
the demo.
And then
Yeah, it's like when my dad
Yeah,
tried
it was
to.
but then it turned into a gremlin.
Right.
But they're all different.
Spoiler alert.
Like
Spoiler
some had mohawks. Some was like a biker gremlin. There
Yeah.
There was
So
one girl.
Furbies?
Yeah. There was like a
You just have to have
hot.
one of the CIA.
Yeah,
like-
there was a slut gremlin.
There was a
Always
hot
one
slut.
hot slug. That's it. You get one
Yeah,
hot slug.
and she had like
no other
big,
girls.
she had big blonde hair and big.
Yeah.
Who populated?
T-words.
No, they didn't. I guess she didn't populate it because they all come out of the one gremlin. So they just,
Yeah.
they don't.
Well,
need,
don't they just multiply?
They
don't need
multiply.
women. Right. They don't need women there.
They-
Well, why do they have personalities if they multiply?
If
Are
you
they
feed
clothes?
them, if you feed
gotta
them
watch
after
it.
midnight, what happens when you feed them after midnight?
They become gremlins.
And then if you
No,
get them wet,
No, then they start
This is
popping out
creepy.
the gremlins,
What?
the mogwai.
Also,
Get them wet.
yeah. If you get them wet, then they start multiplying. If you feed them after midnight, they turn into like a murderous
A
animal.
murderous
This
animal.
feels like a explanation of the birds and the bees.
yeah, it does.
Yeah, you know what I
You gotta
was-
get it wet.
It's actually a Christmas movie that we all watch every
is.
year,
Yeah.
and it's also a metaphor for immigrants, unfortunately.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Also,
Do
young
you
Tom
know
Van.
what Gizmo's original name was when he got to Ellis Island?
don't.
It
Also,
was Pierre.
a 13-year-old Tom Van would have banged that hot gremlin.
I still think about it.
Because I was like, would I do it?
Do you know what I
I told myself.
When I see the hot gremlin, even in any nostalgia, like I'll look at her and I'll be like, I'll put her in my menagerie.
I also thought she wouldn't have the foresight to wear the bikini top. Like, she
Right.
just let him
How
go.
does she know what a bikini is?
Right? Where'd you get a bikini that size in 1986?
She's not a human. She has no concept of it, which
Right.
means that
Right.
as soon as she got wet, she'd be naked.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Am I
Also-
allowed to say that?
Did the gremlins know the midnight time zone in their exact area?
That's what I'm saying. That's the
Yeah.
loophole.
Wait,
Like, how do
there's
they
a
know?
time. There's a
Well,
time
after
midnight.
After
It was like,
midnight.
after midnight, you can't feed it, or
Yeah.
it goes, it pops out the
It has
slime balls.
location services.
Yeah.
It has
And
location-
how does that work? Like my wife has
Yeah.
a team of like multinational people. Like I mean, we got people from India over
Should
here.
be
we
a
got-
Chinese time midnight, right?
Ah.
Which is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Now, I've thought about this very deeply.
Oh, yeah.
I think it could be like by the sun. Like,
Oh, yeah.
but they don't
because
say that in the movie.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
maybe it's by.
I love
in tune.
having you guys on the show because we get some.
Sorry,
I'm
Roo.
sorry. Let's talk about Roo's Menagerie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, they just. I'm fascinated. I gotta add some gremlins into this show.
Yeah, just throw one in there randomly. It'll work.
There's
Yeah.
Gremlins too as well. We'll get to it.
So this is a one-woman show.
It's a one-woman show.
Again, why take that on when you already have so much going on? Like,
because I am crazy.
and Fringe is fun, right? Like Fringe opens different doors, and it's a different opportunity. And what would you guys say about the crowd of Fringe, like versus like your average? I'm just gonna go out and do stand-up kind of.
I think I'm able to just be weirder and sillier and goofier. I think most of the audience members that go to Fringe shows regularly, they like a little bit of whimsy, but I think as you get older, a lot of people kind of like shut that out. And so when you go to stand-up audiences, we got a bunch of toms over here.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
wait,
who likes
wait,
whimsy? You know what you're talking?
No.
I might as well be Willy Whimsy. 'Cause that's me.
Where's the bikini top?
Yeah. I'm all about the whimsy.
Oh, no.
Where's the
You're
whimsy?
typecasting. No, you're typecasting me. This guy's crazy.
You don't like fun.
I don't like. I'm
No,
not
I
gonna go
like
watch
fun.
Hamilton.
I'm watching fun.
Do you know what he says?
I
He says blacks rapping and whites. I can't do it.
Everything you typecast me as some curmudgeon, arms crossed, like what's going on here?
It's okay. I have a character for you in the show. His name's Zeke. He's a lemur. He loves to throw back some beers. You know.
There you go, Zeke the lemur. That's you, buddy.
He's for the dads. He's for the
He's
guys.
for the dads. We got one for the dads. I mean, he's a little sad, but he's got, we don't have to get
I'm more of a bald eagle type of guy.
Wow.
I only play bald
Okay.
eagles. And I have an American flag bandana on my eagle head, which is the only way you can tell I'm a bald eagle, by the way. But I hide that.
Which is also a strange thing to do as a bald eagle because I can't tell you're a bald eagle unless you take your American flag bandana off. I'm like, okay, oh wait, nope, standard American eagle. That's a standard American
It's
eagle.
Schrodinger's eagle.
Anyway, sorry, Roo. So where do we get the idea for this? Like the whole show.
Yeah,
as
how do you
far as-
start writing?
Yeah.
Well, the characters are what started it, and then I got into Fringe, and I was like, oh, I gotta actually put this together.
That's how everybody does Fringe, and I kind of like that.
Love it.
No, I kind of like the fact that it is a lottery system. You do have to get right, like you have to
Yeah.
get selected to do it. A lot of people don't know that, and I will blame Ross for the characters, but you must have seen something in them that made you happy or inspired to be like, you know what, I think I want to do this a little more,
The
right?
first
Like,
one that she really popped off with was her. She has a bird. You know that bird that what's it called?
It's a bird of paradise.
And you know how it have you ever seen it? It dances around. It's got an erectile cape. Have you ever seen it? It's
an
like a big.
erectile cave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
Planet
goes like-
Earth. Yeah. Planet. We all were introduced to this bird when Planet Earth came out in 4K. We were like, whoa! Remember?
4K.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
4K. That was the first 4K. We all watched it
Yeah.
at Best Buy.
Yeah. We all stood there.
This is
watched
another thing
bird.
Roo doesn't know about is
We
when
all bought
4K.
TVs.
Rue's
Roo.
always had 4K.
Us old people.
Over yesterday.
There was a time where we were watching Fuzzy Gremlins on TV,
But not in 4K.
Yeah, you couldn't even tell. It's funny because when the nipple was shown on the Super Bowl, we couldn't
Oh, I
even
didn't know
barely
what was
see
being
it.
seen. Yeah,
Because none of that
no way
4K.
of knowing that.
You missed it.
That's just like noise. It's just grain.
Rue, I was watching
Everything
it.
was fuzzy.
I was watching it on a cable box plugged into a TiVo.
She doesn't know what any of that is.
Well, for those that do know, the TiVo degrades the signal. There was no way of seeing anything. It was like 4 steps removed from the actual signal of the broadcast.
Yeah.
I just feel like if that happened now, no one would care. No one would
No,
care
of
about
course
it at
not.
all.
Well, it's funny because it happened when everybody made a huge deal out of it, and but no one could see it because it was so fuzzy.
True.
Because everything, but when
The pictures came out.
yeah, in 4K, and
You saw the little. She had like a little ring around it with a little nip out and a little star. It was very tasteful.
Yeah.
but the bird of paradise.
Yes.
Sorry, bro.
So she did the Bird of Paradise, and she killed it, and she made it a douchey dude in the club, and it was so funny, and we got it on video, and it was just silly and weird and funny, and I think that's one of the first big characters that you made, right?
I think that's the first one that people were talking about. I'd have people come up to me and tell me, "Oh, I saw you do that bird."
That's cool.
Because the dance is to get a lady, and then you think of him at a club or a nightclub, and what would he say? And she just plays a really.
I mean,
I
douchey
like
when
guy.
you think about it, going to a club is really just a bunch of dudes doing mating dances.
Yeah, you're peacocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's odd.
You know, that is the reason that, I mean, like most people, there's an element of that. Although I will say that it seems like as you get older, you do less of that, you care less,
You're not
like
at your
cowboy hats.
mating prime. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah, you're not.
Don't hurt their feelings. They're not gonna have us.
Yeah, you're willing. No,
No,
trust
they
me,
need
I
someone to
know.
tell them it's real, right?
I know what I am. I was an old man with a beard and a cowboy hat at a theme park this weekend with a cane. With a cane.
Killing it.
Yeah, and I don't know much about women. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. But it seems like what the guys are doing to attract the women,
Yeah.
the women don't really want to or
Yeah.
like. You know what I'm saying like you're doing the ridiculous,
The most.
things that
Going
that
along
the
with your
women don't even
character,
want.
I remember working, like, I spent a lot of time in clubs, not because I liked clubs. I'm not a club guy. You guys probably look at me and tell that naturally I'm not a club person, but hey, radio gigs and clubs pay extremely well, and they did in the late 90s and all through the 2000s. You could do a 2-hour club gig and get $300 all day long, you know. Easy money for 2 hours and free drinks, right? And I have been to the club probably more than most of my friends. I have never seen a man actively do something like that ever worked.
Yeah.
I never saw it work. Not even one time.
Right, it's like Night at the Roxbury. That's right.
yeah,
like any guy that's going to club to do that is going to Peacock, and like then they just waited out till the end of the night. Back in our day, the men would wait until 3 a.m. and then just kind of like
Yeah.
See what the pickings were.
Yeah, you just see what you can get.
before the
know?
internet, because you didn't have the internet, so they just had to kind of wait around.
It's
I
like
do
if
think
you-
that's better than Tinder and Bumble.
You think
though.
waiting around for the
Well,
slim pickings?
I just feel like
It's lowering your standards too. It's like, oh, you don't have oven gold? I'll take Sausalito turkey. It's fine. It's like if you're at the deli and they don't have what you want, you just get something that's okay.
Right.
You know, because you're gonna have to do it again. And let's be honest, it's not that great to begin with.
yeah, it is kind of like opening the fridge like 30 times
Yeah.
until something hits.
some
You're
ranch
like, I guess
crackers.
I'll have the cottage cheese I told myself I'll have.
Fine. It's gonna make me feel bad, but we're gonna do it.
Exactly.
So when is the first show? Ray?
Yeah, and what venue? We got to make sure we give the real stuff out here.
Yeah, so first show, May 16th, opening night. There's a lot of afternoon shows in there. They're both on the weekends for shows.
Nice.
And it is at 1010 Brewing, so you don't even have to walk onto the main campus. You got plenty of parking away from the main campus.
Oh,
that
that's
was a
awesome.
loaded
They're
question.
one of our sponsors.
I already knew where you were playing, and you know what's funny? If they make all breweries fringe venues, you'll see me a lot.
That is awesome. You can go to 1010 Brewing.
Yeah, you get
some
upgraded
delicious
immediately.
beers.
You get upgraded beverages, like
Yeah.
because you're going to a
Wow.
better venue.
That's
like
you're
yeah,
right. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
so,
and it's like it's a separate from their main
Yeah.
bar, so they have their own room, and then they have a bar in the back over there too. So it's like its own little private.
love it.
Yeah.
You
I
lucked
did-
out, lady. That is a
Yeah.
good one, man.
I
That's
did
a
a-
really good one.
Me and Daniel did a fantasy football draft in that room.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, years ago.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That room's fun. It's like
it
very
is.
well. It's very well structured, and I think that it should have more shows if it's not already.
Yeah. No, and all of the brewery, industrial tanks are there. It's cool to be in that.
I think
space.
it's definitely cooler to be there than to be in like a
A regular,
A courtyard.
Yeah.
out-
Yeah,
out
I mean,
in
I
the-
don't
out
want
in
to
the
throw
middle.
shade at
Right.
any other venue, right? Like all the other French
Yeah.
people are hearing me say this, and they're
You
like,
pieces
I got a regular, they're like, I got a regular theater, and crap it all over it. You know?
Normies.
I've been pissing off people like crazy this week, so.
Well, Aimme Roo, thanks so much for
Yeah.
coming by. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Her
Thanks
it.
for
name is
having
not
us.
Amy Roo. Good. You don't know her that well to call her
Now
that.
we're Amy Roo.
That's like what you would say to your wife as a pet name, you pervert. Like, you don't say that. Oh, I love you, Amy Roo. Oh, my little Amy
Amy
Roo.
F. Roo. Oh, okay.
Amy Roo, little Amy Roo.
That is a very southern, that's your new southern name, is Amy Roo.
Aw.
And
All right.
again, OrlandoFringe.org
Yes.
to get the button.
Get your button and then get your tickets and put that money directly into the artists' pockets and support great local art. Guys, thank you for being here.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having us.
having us.
And we will see you on Monday.